Reach for the perfect combination of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser, the great American lager. The Yankees and the Red Sox in the Bronx today, and a native of the Bronx, Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor, just threw out the first pitch. We'll show that to you in just a moment. The Red Sox batting order brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. Jacoby Ellsbury, Dustin Pedroia, Victor Martinez, 24-game hitting streak. Ted Williams never had a 24-game hitting streak for the Boston Red Sox. Martinez has got one. Euclid and Lowell, David Ortiz is on fire. 3 home runs, 10 runs batted in his last 3 games. Baldelli, Lowry, and Anderson rounded out for the Red Sox. And, well, the woman who was credited with ending baseball's work stoppage in 1995. She ended the strike. She threw a strike.
From the stretch.
Your Honor, Your Honor. And it's funny, Jorge Posada actually escorted her out there. Jorge Posada, during all that, was asked to be a replacement player. And
yeah, that's right.
Obviously, that did not happen. He got to the big leagues the correct way eventually. And CC Sabathia is on the mound for the Pinstripes today. He's already got 18 wins. That's the most in the American League. In fact, he has won 8 games in a row. And the Sprint pitcher profile for Karsten Charles Sabathia.
Dave Allen, the pitching coach of the Yankees, telling us before the game that since the All-Star break, he and CC have changed the grip on his fastball with remarkable results. He's 8-0 in his last 10 starts. He has not lost a game since before the All-Star game, and he is indeed tuning up and into October.
And these Red Sox in the middle of a 10-game road trip begin things with Jacoby Ellsbury on a brisk, I would say October-like, late afternoon here in New York.
Magnificent.
Jeff Kellogg is their home plate umpire. He says that's ball 1. The crew chief is at third base, Tim Welke, part of the umpiring at Welke's. There are brothers at third base and second base umpiring today. The Welkes are, like Derek Jeter, from Kalamazoo, Michigan. Got a straight line of all Kalamazoo out there right now. Between the Welkes, there's Derek Jeter. And we'll talk a lot about Derek Jeter as the day goes along. Obviously, he is the linchpin again in the running for MVP here at the age of 35.
He has finished in the top 10 6 times. And probably has his best shot this year, having one of his best years of a remarkable career.
That one fouled off of Jose Molina. He's only in there because Jorge Posada's got a sore neck. And now a little headache here for Molina.
Well, we've talked about it a lot. A lot of people think because you have so much protection as a catcher that you're not hurt on balls like that, but that ball hitting the left shoulder and came up and jarred the mask of Molina. But you're right, he's in there because of a soreness to the neck of Posada.
Good start for CC Sabathia, striking out Jacoby Ellsbury.
Foul tip, the one before that. But then CC does 187 strikeouts. Gets his first one this afternoon.
1 point from a 300 batting average. Here's Pedroia.
Talked about remarkable career for Derek Jeter. How about Dustin Pedroia?
Well,
Rookie of the Year a couple of years ago, MVP last year.
That's been done by Ryan Howard, Cal Ripken, and Pedroia. That's the whole list. First 2 years to have those 2 awards. One thing has been an issue. That's hitting CC Sabathia. The amazing thing about Pedroia, I know you've discussed this before, Tim, but he's 5'6", 5'7", like a David Eckstein, but he swings like he's Adam Dunn. Kind of bridges the gap between the scrappy guys and the sluggers.
Well, you would think with that long swing that he would strike out a lot. He is the toughest batter in the American League to strike out. You see Victor Martinez on deck. There's that long swing. The longer the swing, the more you have to take it back. And Dustin Pedroia, you think he's too short to have that long a swing, but very unusual way to make contact.
Toughest guy to strike out has struck out. CC Sabathia is 2 for 2, and Pedroia has a parting comment.
Dustin thought that ball was outside. You could see Molina setting up outside. That's a strike.
Now that we mentioned, he's a little fiery. I don't know if you saw the back cover of the New York Daily News yesterday, Tim, but they had just a ginormous picture of CC Sabathia, a caricature, and a comically diminutive Dustin Pedroia next to CC. We're going to have a second act, obviously, at some point here today, but round one, if Pedroia doesn't get thrown out. Well, round one went to CC Sabathia. Well, Sabathia is on the verge of striking out the side. He's ahead of Victor Martinez, 0-2. On appeal, no swing. This is a guy with a 24-game hitting streak intact, Victor Martinez.
Been a member of the Red Sox for less than 2 months, and as you said, already has a 24-game hitting streak, and Ted Williams never did. It's remarkable. Changeup.
And it's down. The longest hitting streak in Red Sox history is from, of all things, a DiMaggio. Dom DiMaggio. There's still a ways to go for Victor Martinez to get there. 2-2 against Sabathia. You hear the moans from the Yankee fans, thinking that one was strike 3. Bashed into left center. But it's a 1-2-3 inning for CC Sabathia. Now the Yankees coming up. The Yankees a 9-5 winner yesterday. They stole 7 bases in that game, most they've had in 13 years. The lineup brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. Jeter, Damon, and Teixeira get it going. A-Rod, Hideki Matsui, Nick Swisher, and Robinson Cano. Melky Cabrera hit that hot shot off of John Lester yesterday. There was a lot of concern about that. We'll talk more about Lester. Again, the clip notes, he's fine. Here's Daisuke Matsuzaka. And obviously these are not the numbers that the Red Sox were thinking from Daisuke Matsuzaka. 6.8 ERA. But he's been better of late. And he's facing Derek Jeter here in a scoreless first inning.
Biggest thing about Matsuzaka in his 3rd start off the disabled list, 1-5 in his first 8 starts. But he's around the plate, using the fat part of the plate and not toying with the strike zone like that.
Slider that looked like it moved about 1.5 feet right there. 2.38 since coming back. Shut down with a sore shoulder for a while. That one darts down and outside. And Jeter, the third leading hitter in the American League, to be followed by Johnny Damon. Boy, something about this mound all of a sudden. Red Sox pitchers are getting pelted with baseballs. It was Melky Cabrera lacing one off of John Lester yesterday. Now Jeter right away off Daisuke.
It looks like the right leg of Daisuke Matsusaka right off the shin. And then last night in the third inning, Melky Cabrera off the right knee of John Lester. Ouch.
It was a line drive heard all the way back in New England off of Lester's leg and right into the psyche of every angst-ridden citizen of Red Sox Nation. Terry Francona urging everybody to chill out and relax. It's not Jim Rice getting hit in 75. It's not Tom Seaver getting hit in 86. Not Tom Brady getting laid out week 1 of 08 on the football field. It was a hard hit baseball, but he's going to be just fine.
And it wasn't Fred Lynn running into the center field wall in the World Series in 1975.
Well, the Boulevard of Broken Dreams has run somewhere near Fenway with stuff like that. So understandable why Red Sox fans are nervous when they see a guy like John Lester go down. Johnny Damon fouls it.
Interesting, the bat boy had a bat ready for Johnny Damon, a guy who breaks as many bats as anybody in baseball. He's looking for another one to get ready. Johnny with that unorthodox swing seen in New England as a member of the Red Sox for so many years.
But why so many broken bats?
Because of his unorthodox swing. He's a front foot hitter. Does not make contact on the fat part of the bat like guys like Teixeira. A lot of trademark contact and things like that. He's a very unorthodox good hitter. Slider from Matsusaka, and that's that front foot. You can see him shift his weight. He doesn't stay back on the back foot like Alex Rodriguez or Mark Teixeira or David Ortiz.
Keeping in mind the Yankees were running the relays yesterday. 7 steals in that game.
Yeah, Josh, you brought that up. I think that is the major problem with the Red Sox going into the postseason, because of the daring do of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim and the Yankees.
Damon turns on one. He's going to send this thing soaring foul. No, I think it's a very legitimate point. And when we talked to Terry Francona before the game, he did his level best to kind of sweep that aside and say it's not going to be that big a deal. But you look at the numbers and you arch your eyebrows. And you're right, especially against the Angels, that could very much be in play.
Angels have stolen 15 bases in 17 tries on the season against the Red Sox. And as Josh said, 7 for 7 were the Yankees last night.
The Yankees hadn't stolen that many, or even 6 in a game against the Boston Red Sox since 1912. And that is an issue, whether it's Varitek or whether it's Victor Martinez. They are giving them up at a very unsatisfying clip. There goes Jeter, and another foul from Johnny Damon, his 5th of this at bat.
Daisuke Matsusaka takes a long time to get to home plate. You could see the jump there that Jeter had. Of course, with 2 strikes on the hitter, you don't need the jump. It's almost a hit and run play as you look at Jason Varitek. the Red Sox other catcher.
Towards first and speared by Euclid. Going to get one. Back to first, not in time. Let's check today's Sprint pitcher profile for Daisuke Matsuzaka.
We mentioned only his third start, and obviously looking for his third straight start. Since coming off the DL, he had a great start, a good start, and the reason he's been more successful, he is doing what John Farrell, the pitching coach, and Terry Francona have been preaching: use the middle of the plate. Don't try to be too fine.
Mark Teixeira having the season the Yankees envisioned. He takes outside. Well, it's interesting just to go back to your point as you look at the defense here, the alignment for Teixeira. Whether it is Varitek or Victor Martinez behind the plate for the bulk of the postseason, a lot of liberties are being taken by opposing teams against the Red Sox. Jason Varitek is still the captain, but whether or not he is the starting catcher a lot in the postseason is still to be determined.
I think he may get a start, but that might be it.
He's only caught 9 runners stealing bases this year, and there's Johnny Damon trying out Victor Martinez. The Yankees are running again.
How do you combat this? You can't allow your pitchers to think about it too much. I mean, Victor Martinez has never been a catcher with a strong throwing arm. Varitek has, but he's older now and beaten up. He's been catching a long time. The throw is high, and Damon with the 8th straight stolen base against the Red Sox in 2 games.
A lot of the steals, Tim, have been coming in clumps. There have been 8 games this year in the majors where a team has stolen 6 or more bases, and 4 times it's Varitek is the victim.
Well, the key thing that the Red Sox have to ask themselves is, how do you combat that in the postseason? You can pitch out early in the game to show the Angels.
On the ground is short. Lowry cross diamond.
That you will pitch out. So if they want to run early in the count, the chance of a pitch out clears the hitter, gives you a better chance to throw a guy out. But in the process of doing that, then pitchers do what pitching coaches don't want pitchers to do, and that's fall behind. And then they're forced to pitch behind. So it is a major problem, and as we said, I think it's the biggest problem the Red Sox face going into the postseason.
But at least it looks like there will be a postseason for the Red Sox. They're close to wrapping that up. Here's a guy that was almost a Red Sox. Remember that?
Yeah.
Alex Rodriguez. The Yankees' pursuit of A-Rod happened only after the Texas Rangers backed out of a deal they had all set with Boston. Rodriguez for Manny Ramirez and John Lester.
In fact, the 3rd and 4th hitters in the Yankee lineup this afternoon could have been Red Sox. Mark Teixeira,
yeah,
and A-Rod.
What a different landscape that all would have been. 1 out of 12 lifetime is Rodriguez against Matsuzaka. But still, considering Alex Rodriguez missed a month of the season, numbers are very good. Dribble up near third. No score at the end of 1. Yankees and the Red Sox on Fox. Fox Saturday Baseball presented by Budweiser, sponsored by Sprint. Get more done with Nextel Direct Connect only from the Now Network. By Taco Bell, think outside the bun. And by the all-new Taurus from Ford, Drive One. Josh Lewin with Tim McCarver today. Thanks for being with us on Fox. It's the Red Sox and the Yankees. They might be seeing each other a bit again in a couple of weeks. CC Sabathia, a 1-2-3 first inning, starts with Kevin Youkilis here in the top of the second. Youkilis down in the batter's box.
Man, what a costly 2 games this has been for the Red Sox thus far. We talked about Lester being hit, Matsusaka being hit, and now Kevin Youkilis fouls one off his left shin. Make that his right foot. Red Sox came in here very healthy and have a chance of leaving as the walking wounded. My gosh. We talked about CC Sabathia and how he has changed his grip. You can see the middle finger and the index finger right there. He puts pressure on that middle finger and actually cuts the ball in on right-handed batters. And that's the grip change that Dave Eiland, the pitching coach of the Yankees, suggested after the All-Star game, and he has been enormously successful with it. Very simple thing.
Well, he's run off 8 straight wins. He's always enormous, but 6'7", 290, according to the media guide. And Youkilis becomes the 3rd strikeout victim already.
Third strikeout for Sabathia. This was the way CC held his fastball, the cross seam fastball. So Dave Eiland suggested to just move the ball over and use the seam to actually cut through the ball. It's like a slider, similar to a slider. But just that little movement has been enormously successful over his last 10 starts. It looks like it's that way again today.
Deals to Mike Lowell, who of course came up originally as a Yankees prospect. Dave Eiland, the body double of Kevin Costner in a baseball movie of about 10 or 11 years ago.
You're right.
Love of the Game, I believe it was called. That's a pretty cool thing to have on your resume.
I'll say.
And turning CC Sabathia into a 20-game winner, that's also high up there. Of course, CC was doing just fine before he ever met Dave Eiland. Cy Young winner in 07.
Talked about it about a month ago when we did a Yankee game. Really do not think that Joe Girardi and Dave Eiland get enough credit. Of course, that's always the case if you're going to be the manager of a high-profile team. Look at Terry Francona, the Red Sox, when they lost 3 in a row to the Yankees in 2004. Articles about Terry perhaps being fired. And all of a sudden, the Red Sox come back, win 4 in a row. And win 4 in a row in the World Series, and Terry's a hero.
And CC Sabathia is fantastic to start this game. He was struck out 4 out of 5.
Looked like a breaking ball out of the strike zone, and a beauty. That was not a breaking ball. That was a changeup from Sabathia.
Now David Ortiz. And Tim, it may end up a footnote that David Ortiz had 1 home run heading into June. There was a lot of talk back then that David Ortiz was done. Now he's got more home runs this year than he had last year. Off speed, ball 1.
It's interesting that the Yankees do not employ the shift on David Ortiz, and the reason for that, he's facing CC Sabathia. Jeter normally would be over here But with Sabathia pitching and pitching a lot of fastballs away to Ortiz, he's more apt to hit the ball to left field.
Looks like hitting Sabathia at all is going to be a challenge today. They got power versus power, two very dynamic personalities here. CC Sabathia and David Ortiz. A big swing from Big Papi.
Ball hitting Jose Molina on the right instep. So he's been hit on the left shoulder, the mask, and now the right instep.
Well, and just to even it out, Matsuzaka took one off the calf, and Euclid fouled one off his foot. Breaking ball, strike. Chipped into center. Just like last inning, 2 strikeouts and a flyout. CC Sabathia large and in charge. No score. Fox Saturday Baseball presented by Budweiser. Reach for the perfect combination of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser, the great American lager. And at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, you don't see this very often. A guy that gets out there to start warming up and does it from way back there.
Yeah, his first 2 warm-up pitches from behind the mound.
And Victor Martinez not used to this.
Nope.
Normally, as we've talked about, it is Jason Varitek with Matsuzaka. Here's Matsui against Matsuzaka. And they've seen each other plenty from back in the Japanese leagues. But it seems like we're talking a lot about the catching situation for Boston here off the top, Tim. And again, Varitek, a scheduled day off today. But Matsuzaka's always had that comfort level with Jason Varitek. He's made 72 starts now as the Boston Red Sox. This is only the 4th one with someone besides Jason Varitek as his catcher.
Well, if he expects to pitch in the postseason, he's got to get used to it because the offense is with Victor Martinez and, as we said earlier, not with Varitek.
Everybody's beating themselves up here early.
I was thinking the same thing. Balls off the feet, balls off the shins. Now it's Matsui's turn to take one off the shin.
A lot of production of late from Matsui. It's a guy that had only 28 runs batted in at the end of June. Here he is now with 88. Had as many home runs as Alex Rodriguez. Matsuzaka got him. Trying to stay healthy heading into October. Everybody's obviously got that in mind, but boy, for some reason, the last 18 hours or so here in New York City, it's not happening.
Ken Davidoff, a New York writer, wrote an article about that on Thursday, saying that between these two teams this weekend in these 3 games, both teams will try to stay healthy when Sunday's game is over. And thus far, I'm telling you, it has been a tough 2 games for both teams.
Trainers are on red alert.
Gene Monahan, the trainer for the Yankees.
Nick Swisher, the Yankee hitter, takes down and in. Well, and with the lack of drama really all around most of baseball right now, it's important for all these teams that are looking to secure their berth in the postseason. Like you said, Tim, get your house in order, stay healthy, get that rotation set up the way you want it. This is a rare year where pretty much everybody's on equal footing in that respect. There's not a bunch of great races. There's a couple of halfway decent ones, but the Yankees aren't in one. The Red Sox aren't in one. Pegged in right field, base hit.
Certainly can't say that about Detroit.
No, they're the exception to the rule. Tigers and Twins going down to the wire. One of those teams will make it to the postseason, and you can catch all the action of the 09 MLB postseason on both Fox and TBS. The excitement begins October 7th with the division series, and if it ended today, the Tigers would have it over the surging Twins. They're surging without Justin Morneau, too.
Michael Kadire, the right fielder for the Twins, is on fire.
Jason Kubel, too.
Yeah.
Robinson Cano. Nobody has swung in a first pitch yet, by the way. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Even Robinson Cano takes the first one, so there have been 13 hitters. Everybody's taken the first pitch.
Derek Jeter, Robinson Cano, two of the notorious first ball hitters in the American League. And I think Robinson Cano someday will win a batting title. That's how good he is.
The numbers are building towards that here in 09. Couple of hits today. Cano will join Derek Jeter on the list of guys with 200 hits this year. There's only been one double play combination ever where both guys had 200 hits, and that was back in the 1880s. Check swing by Cano. Jeter's already there. Cano is right behind. And last year, I mean, it was a season of a lot of swinging at the first pitch, popping up somewhere, then disgustedly shaking his head about having done that. Not this year.
When Jorge Posada is playing, he bats 6th, Cano 7th, Swisher 8th. The Yankees lineup is so strong that their number 7 hitter is going to end up with 200 hits, and their number 8 hitter could have 30 home runs. That's a strong lineup.
I remember in the division series against the Tigers a few years ago, Jim Leyland called the Yankees Murderers Row and then Cano. Swisher goes, and that's fouled. And Cano is walking more now, too. Last year, Tim, he only had 23 unintentional walks. Kind of the Unieski-Betancourt plan, and that was not going to work. On 3-2, Swisher goes. That is ball 4, down and in. Again, the Red Sox very close to being in as a wild card, which certainly worked for them in 2004. Melky Cabrera bats for the Yankees. Well, the Red Sox, since getting swept here in the Bronx 6 weeks back, all they've done is produce the best record in baseball. Daisuke off the DL. His 3rd start. And as we talk about getting the house in order, not that Daisuke Matsuzaka is looking to be part of the front end of that rotation in the postseason, if he's part of the rotation at all, but just to make sure he's right in whatever role they put him in. Got a couple more chances to see about that. Another one back to the pitcher. Matsuzaka going to third. And got Nick Swisher.
Boy, what a heads-up play that was.
I didn't even think about it from up here.
The only guy who thought he had a chance at the runner at third base and Nick Swisher was Matsuzaka. Now, of course, granted, the ball was toward third base, so he had a better look at it than anybody did. But the throw to third base just gets Nick Swisher. That's a heads-up play and a very good play in recovering by Daisuke.
I don't know about you. My eyeballs went directly to second base thinking, is he going to get the man going into second base? And that throw never went there.
Mine went to first. Neither of your expert broadcasters' eyes went to third. Some analysis.
We aim to please, folks. Jose Molina and another Yankee who's ahead in the count here. Only 1 of 9 at first pitch strikes so far from Matsuzaka. On appeal, that's a swing, says Tad Fairchild.
That was close. There's almost all replays of check swings. Appears that the hitter went around.
In the air to right. Sabathia and Matsuzaka are scoreless at the end of 2. We're coming back after a word from your local Fox station. Saturday Baseball on Fox, presented by Budweiser. Budweiser, the great American lager. Rocco Baldelli, what a thrill for him. It's the first time he has been in a Red Sox-Yankees game. Growing up in Rhode Island, he certainly watched enough of him on TV. Now he's got to face CC Sabathia, dealing strike 1 in a scoreless third inning. Baldelli just had a birthday yesterday, turned 28. Bottom third of the order against Sabathia, who has cruised to a great start today. 2 strikeouts in the first, 2 more in the second. On the ground, third base, friendly hop for Alex Rodriguez. And we bring in the third member of our broadcast team with Sabathia on the mound. We throw it down to Ken Rosenthal.
Josh, this is CC Sabathia's 3rd straight start on extra rest. He's going to enter the playoffs having thrown fewer innings in the regular season than he did in both 2007 and 2008. Now, you're going to hear a lot of talk about Sabathia's 7.92 ERA in 5 postseason starts. But hey, 2007 with the Indians, his first postseason, he was geeked up, worn down. Last year with the Brewers, he made only 1 postseason start, and it was his 4th straight start on 3 days rest. Obviously, he had to pitch well in the previous 3 to get the Brewers there. CC told me yesterday that he was mentally tired more than physically tired. He said it was like pitching every single day.
Well, that's what it seemed like. As he kept that team alive. Lowry blasting off deep at the wall. It's caught by Cabrera. Lowry with only 1 home run. Not the guy you'd think would hit it out, and he came close.
Yankee Stadium has yielded more home runs than any other ballpark in the majors. And CC Sabathia with that look of incredulity to center field, thinking, how in the world did that ball go that far? I thought I made a good pitch. 8 in a row now retired by Sabathia.
And we'll face Brian Anderson here. That one is also not going to get out. Derek Jeter will grab this baseball, come on in and grab a bat. He will lead off for the Yankees. On Fox, there is no score. Derek Jeter to lead things off. He has more hits than any New York Yankee in history. He's also got more than 550 plate appearances in the postseason. And he's going to take one right in the back here from Daisuke Matsuzaka.
Now everybody upset. That was a breaking ball. Clearly no intention to hit Derek Jeter. 77-mile-an-hour breaking ball. They got away from Matsuzaka and hit Derek in the right place if you're going to be hit.
Few more plate appearances coming for Derek Jeter in this coming postseason, much of which you will see right here on Fox. Johnny Damon now, who's been on both sides of the Red Sox-Yankee rivalry. Strike one on the outside edge. Going to chat in just a moment with John Farrell, the pitching coach of these Boston Red Sox. Get his impressions of Daisuke Matsuzaka today. Again, Daisuke pretty much brutal his first 8 starts. But then glimpses of some good stuff of late. A couple games back since resting that shoulder. It's funny how this rivalry changes some of its characters, Tim, every year. But the general idea stays the same. There's always something to talk about. This year has given us the Mark Teixeira versus Red Sox owner John Henry subplot. The fallout from Jabba Chamberlain against Euclid still. There's the battle of the closers, battle of the GMs. What hasn't taken shape is any animosity at all between the managers. High drive at the track and grabbed. Pick back up on that rivalry thread in just a moment. John Farrell chatted with us in between innings, and we asked him about Daisuke Matsuzaka.
Well, I think Josh consistent with his first 2 starts from the rehab assignment. You know, he's shown decent velocity here today, and I think the biggest thing overall since coming back is his ability to repeat his delivery a little bit more consistently than when he had to go on the disabled list early in the year, and that's just an indication of his shoulder strength and overall core strength.
John, going into the postseason, you and Terry Francona trying to cover as many bases as you can, but you can't cover them all, can you?
No, you really can't, and I think until we understand what format, provided that we get there, we've certainly got some work to do before we get to that point, but if we do happen to get in and we understand what type of format we're going to have, whether that's playing every other day or having back-to-back days, Thursday and Friday in that first week, that's going to be an indicator of 3 or 4 starters in that rotation.
Be nice for you guys not to have a starter hit by a line drive one time. How's John Lester doing from yesterday?
Well, you're absolutely right. I think from our perspective last night, the best thing to come out of that game last night was that the x-rays were negative. He's got a bruise on the inside of the quad, but no knee damage at all. So good news in that regard.
Great. John, thanks so much for your time, bud.
Okay, guys, take care.
All right, in the meantime, Mark Teixeira dropping one in right center field. And Jeter able to turn it on, go to third. So runners at the corners for Alex Rodriguez. Speaking of the Yankee-Red Sox rivalry, the guy who's always in the epicenter of it with a chance to get the game's first run across.
Good splitter from Matsuzaka, but that ball hit by Teixeira, clearly misjudged by Ellsbury in center field. He broke back first and then broke in. But a good splitter from Matsuzaka.
Double play ball gets them out of the inning. Yeah, Ellsbury looked like it took at least 1, if not 2 steps back initially, and it cost him. Jeter ends up at third. Down and outside, 2-1. Pretty much par for the course for Matsuzaka. Always a lot of pitches every inning. Runs a count to 3-1 to Alex Rodriguez. Now 3-2. Even in a game like this is not the postseason yet, but every at bat, the inherent pressure on Alex Rodriguez. Get a hit here, he buys a break from his detractors to make an out. Well, they'll pile on his back like an avalanche.
I think during the regular season, that particular type of approach to Alex Rodriguez is lost. However, once the postseason begins, then it will pick right back up again.
Well, and the fact that he's had only the 1 run batted in now in his last 16 postseason games, that doesn't help. CC Sabathia, as Ken Rosenthal was talking about earlier, not great postseason numbers yet either.
Coming back inside to Rodriguez.
Strike 3 and hung up is Teixeira. They will throw down eventually, and he's safe.
Interference is called. Good call by the home plate umpire, Jeff Kellogg.
He was right on top of it, so that's going to end the inning for the Yankees.
Alex Rodriguez took 1 step toward first base, trying to coax a walk, and in the process interfered with Martinez, and the Red Sox finally get a guy trying to steal in the last 2 games.
With an assist from A-Rod.
Yeah, and home plate umpire Jeff Kellogg.
No score, end of 3. This game stays scoreless. It looked like the Yankees were poised to take a lead. They had runners at the corners and Alex Rodriguez up. But a strikeout and then obstruction. And that was all she wrote. It stays 0-0. We'll go to the 4th and revisit that play in just a moment. First, it's Jacoby Ellsbury at the plate. And he will take ball 1.
Yeah, I was incorrect when I said that was interference. Interference, broadly put, has to do when a fielder like Alex Rodriguez or anybody on the infield interferes with the base runner. Obstruction is when a base runner interferes with the defender.
No interference here. Mark Teixeira all by himself at first base. We'll listen in. Jeff Kellogg will explain it to everybody, including Alex Rodriguez.
That's obstruction. Right here.
Victor Martinez was like, yeah, right?
Yeah, right.
No argument from Alex at all. And I think you called it exactly right. It looked like he was trying to coax the walk, take that 1 step, and he walked right into the middle of the play.
It was we said that Matsuzaka trying to work A-Rod inside again. It wasn't the fastball, but the slider. The pitch appeared to be inside before A-Rod took it. It darted back over the plate. It was certainly a strike. A-Rod took the 1 step toward first base, and in the process interfered with the act of throwing by Martinez, or obstructed with the act of throwing.
Now Pedroia, who was called out on strikes and didn't like it much in the first inning. And the guy with the 24-game hitting streak is on deck. One-time battery mate of CC Sabathia in Cleveland. That's one of those big swings from a little man we were talking about earlier.
Trying to muscle up and is unsuccessful. Dustin is a high ball hitter, but he's not a high ball hitter that on a pitch that is that high. Around the waist, yes. Around the letters, no. Not there.
Sabathia is going to get him again. Fox Saturday Baseball presented by Budweiser, sponsored today by Bank of America. Show the world it's not like it's love. Get MLB banking only from Bank of America. Also by Zantac. Heartburn, attack it, Zantac. And by Chevy. So the 24-game hitting streak for Martinez will try to push it to 25 here and become the first Venezuelan ever with a 25-game hitting streak. We mentioned earlier for a Boston Red Sox to have hit in 24 straight games. Fairly unusual the last 50 or so years. Manny Ramirez had a 27-gamer not too long ago. Here's Martinez at 24. First time it's been 3-0 to anybody from CC Sabathia today. CC leading the league in wins. He is 5th in ERA. Got to be on the outskirts of the Cy Young conversation anyway. Swinging 3-0 is Victor Martinez. He fouls it.
It gives you an idea of how hard Sabathia is throwing. When an accomplished hitter like Victor Martinez gets a hit sign on a 3-0 count, gets a good pitch to handle, and fouls it back the other way, that means the pitcher is bringing it, and that's what Sabathia is doing today. Throwing very, very hard. Fastball away.
That one pumped right over the corner.
Catchers give fastballs with 2 fingers, the pinky and the index finger. Pinky is descriptive of a fastball away. Index finger means a fastball inside. Fastball away.
See Molina shifting towards that outside corner. And that pitch actually got some of the plate. Fouled away. When Sabathia won that Cy Young Award in Cleveland, Victor Martinez was doing a lot of the catching.
Changeup.
Martinez lunging to get a piece. I'm always impressed by a guy whose changeup is 87.
You know, if you threw a 91-mile-an-hour fastball, an 87-mile-an-hour changeup would not be good.
Oh, you need that differential, right?
Yeah, you need the differential. That disparity between the fastball and the change. When you throw 98, you can get away with an 87-mile-an-hour changeup. Slider here.
Taken, and it's ball 4. The first base runner of the game for the Boston Red Sox. Well, Martinez has seen 14 pitches in 2 trips to the plate. Kevin Youkilis second in the league in on-base percentage. And he will take outside. Toward short. Jeter with a leap, and he's got it. No score in the Bronx. Autumn in New York. And it's the Yankees and the Red Sox playing ball. Is that on your new CD, by the way, Autumn in New York? Or did you not cover that one?
Nope, didn't cover that one. A great time in this great city, though, between two great franchises.
Matsuzaka and Matsui getting it going in the bottom of the fourth. Do I have a promo card to read about your CD, or I just have to wing that? The 1-0 pitch coming.
Well, the words to that song include a phrase called Canyons of Steel. Of course, talking about the streets of New York, but that's what these two franchises have been. Whether they're battling each other or battling the rest of the American League. Canyons of Steel.
And who will be the dreamers with empty hands? We will find that out soon enough. See, I'm with you on Sinatra lyrics. I'm right there.
I love it.
2-1 the count to Matsui. Whether it's autumn in New York or moonlight in Vermont or Indian summer in Schenectady, I got you. 2-1 pitch. Is Blute back in the crowd. The Hyundai in-game box score for the New York Yankees, introducing the all-new 306 horsepower rear-wheel drive Hyundai Genesis Coupe.
American League Championship Series starting on October 16th. Will it be between Minnesota and the Yankees, Detroit, and the Angels of Anaheim, the Red Sox and Yankees? Who knows?
I think you just hit on the ratings winner on that last one.
Oh, yeah.
Busted bat. And it drops. Wow. It was up there for a real long time. Ellsbury and Lowry both had plenty of time to call it and catch it, and it dropped.
And the interesting point about that, I think, is this stadium was quiet before this play. So really no excuse from Ellsbury or Lowry. If the ball has enough hang time, it's the outfielder's ball. But it appeared that Lowry, by his pursuit of the ball, held off Ellsbury. So miscommunication right there, and a base hit for Matsui.
All 4 hits now belong to the New York Yankees. And the batter is Nick Swisher. Count runs to 2-0, and Tim, you were talking about the possible permutations going forward in the postseason. The Yankees waiting to see who's going to win that AL Central, whether it's the Tigers or the Twins. They have had their way with both of those teams this year.
5-1 against Detroit, 7-0 against the Minnesota Twins.
Justin Verlander is the only pitcher to have defeated the New York Yankees off that Tiger rotation this year. Not a lot of shame in losing to Verlander.
Nope.
And Jeter, who grew up in the state of Michigan, but grew up a Yankee fan. Count goes to 3-1 for the Red Sox. Tim, it looks like they will once again draw the Angels. That's getting to be old hat. The regular season, it's been all Angels, but in the postseason, it's been all Red Sox.
4 times the Red Sox have met the Angels in postseason. They have won all 4 series.
Ball 4, 2 on, nobody out. The Yankees had a great chance to score last inning, first and third, 1 out. They had 2 on and 1 out back in the second, couldn't score.
Remember 1986 when the Red Sox beat the Angels? The Angels certainly remember that. So do the Sox. That was the ALCS. And the last 3 times that the Red Sox have defeated the Angels have been in the American League Division Series, the first round.
Two on, nobody out for Cano. Who does not have a sac bunt all year. Sure enough, swings away, skies it to right. Out number 1.
You mentioned the Red Sox. If the season were over tomorrow, the Red Sox would be playing in Southern California, opening there. And the Yankees would have a decision to make. They have the choice as the team with the best record. Would they open Wednesday or Thursday? Series A would open Wednesday, and they would have the 3 intervening off days, actually 2 intervening off days. And the other Series B would start on Thursday with no off day between game 1 and 2.
Joe Girardi and the Yankees, if indeed they finish with the best record in the American League, they'll have that call, right?
Right.
Ken Rosenthal, anything on that decision?
Josh, almost certainly they would go with a longer series. And there are a couple of reasons for that. One, you can go with only 3 starters instead of 4. Skip Jabba Chamberlain in the first round. 2, with the extra off days, you can make better use of your relievers. Use them as much as you want. And 3, don't forget Alex Rodriguez. The Yankees are liking giving him time off and getting more out of him. And with the extra off days, that would help him too as he continues his recovery from hip surgery.
Those are very good points, Ken, solidified by Joe Girardi today, talking about A-Rod needing the extra rest and also his relievers and how it invigorates the relievers with those extra days of rest. Jabba Chamberlain, a strong start against the Sox last night, a start in which he went 6 innings, giving up 3 runs.
Two-strike pitch to Cabrera. A little bit low. So where does Chamberlain figure in the mix for the Yankees in the postseason?
I think Ken's right. I do not. I think the Yankees will choose the longer series with the most off days, and that Jabba will be scratched as a starter in the first round.
Tapper slowly hit to short. Cabrera's out by half a step. Runners advance to second and third.
Jed Lowry at least partially to blame on that ball that dropped in center field, but he makes a very, very good recovery play right here to get Cabrera.
Well, the Yankees, who last night were 7 of 21 with runners in scoring position, 0 for 7 so far today. And a guy who is 0 for his last 14 overall is asked to save the inning. That's Molina. In the air, center field. And that ball that dropped in front of Ellsbury does not come back to hurt the Red Sox. No score at the end of 4. CC Sabathia ready to have at it. The Hyundai in-game box score for the Red Sox, introducing the all-new 306 horsepower rear-wheel drive Hyundai Genesis Coupe. Note all the zeros on the left side of the ledger. Victor Martinez with that 24-game hitting streak has coaxed a walk. Here is Mike Lowell in a scoreless game in the 5th inning. Lowell, Ortiz, and Baldelli against CC Sabathia, who's looking for his 19th win of the year. In the 5th inning, only 53 pitches needed so far for Sabathia, who, remember, is working on an extra day's rest. And the fastball's been crackling in there about 95 fairly consistently. Just saw 93 right there. Saw the changeup grip.
As a changeup, whenever that ring finger is involved in a pitch, then what a pitcher in essence does, he chokes the pitch, and that's why it's much slower than the fastball. Fastball here.
First base hit for the Boston Red Sox. The Yankees have been getting a lot more opportunities, missing on them though so far. We talked to Joe Girardi about that just moments ago.
Well, we're getting them on. We just got to find a way to get them in. And, you know, you keep putting them out there. Eventually someone's going to get a hit and try to get us the lead here.
Joe, you've got to feel awfully comfortable watching CC Sabathia perform this afternoon.
Yeah, he's pitched well for us all year. And especially after that first month, he's been, you know, pretty dominant. And he got on a roll in Detroit, and he's kept on it the rest of the year.
Hey, real quick, Posada scratched from the lineup. Is he okay?
He's okay. You know, his trap is kind of spasming up, and you know, we'll give him whatever time it takes to get him back. It shouldn't be too long. We consider him day to day, but just watching him take BP today, he looked a little bit stiff in his neck area, so we just scratched him.
And finally, skipper, from yesterday, Jabba Chamberlain, your thoughts?
He threw the ball very well, and we asked him to step up, and that's what he did yesterday, and hopefully we can build on that on Wednesday, his next start.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, guys. Joe.
Meantime, Ortiz, they're going to say that ball hit his bat, and it's grabbed by Molina, and now Jeff Kellogg and David Ortiz, and maybe Terry Francona in on an argument.
He did check his swing, but did it hit his bat?
Didn't look like it.
It didn't appear that that ball came anywhere close to hitting his bat. It looked like it missed it by 6 inches. You know, a lot of times home plate umpires will go on sound, and I wonder what sound made it possible for Kellogg to make that call, because that was not even close. One more look. You can see that ball missed the bat by 4 or 5 inches.
Now it is 2-2. And maybe all is right with the world. Now Ortiz is down on strikes. Take you back, some sounds of the game for you here on Fox.
Foul tip.
Hey, no.
Yeah, foul tip.
I don't need that ball.
It hit off the bat.
No.
Yeah, you know what? I got it hitting off the bat.
Oh, no,
I got it ticking off the edge of the
never
bat.
hit my bat.
Yeah.
It appeared that there was a click of some kind.
That's exactly right.
I don't know what it was, but there was something that sounded like a foul tip.
Yeah, I was listening for it
as
too.
you saw, yeah.
Very civil conversation, and I think had Jeff Kellogg said, I heard something, then we'd all be nodding our head up and down, but what he saw was not right. 1 strike the count to Baldelli. Make it 2 strikes to Baldelli. But I think you called it correctly, Tim, immediately, that, yeah, a lot of times the umpire goes on that click sound, and the assumption is, well, it had to have hit the bat. That one squibbed foul up near first. Let's go back and listen again.
Foul tip.
There was something.
Yeah, foul tip. It hit off the bat. It hit off the bat.
No.
Yeah, you know what? I got it hitting off the bat.
Oh, no,
I got it ticking off the edge of the
never
bat.
hit my bat.
Yeah.
That ball never hit my bat.
I got it
swear.
ticking your bat. I mean, that's all I can go on.
That is really a fair, as you said, a civil conversation and a disagreement, and understood from both counts, because it appeared when the ball crossed the plate that something made a clicking sound.
I heard what Jeff Kellogg heard. But,
Yeah. Yep.
but there's no way that ball hit that bat.
But no chance. Nope.
Runner goes. Baldelli is out. What a jump for Mike Lowell, standing down there at second base, and that's kind of big. We've been talking about the Yankees running game.
Only the second stolen base of the year for Mike Lowell. But since Teixeira is playing behind him, Mike took a chance, a very heady play.
That was kind of, oh, by the way, but in a scoreless game, a little bloop here, and all of a sudden you've got a 1-0 lead.
Oh, sure. Mike Lowell, a very slow runner to begin with, plus off a winter where he had hip surgery. So consider how many times Mike Lowell has gone into a base standing up.
Right.
Not often.
And the record will show he stole it off a guy who's usually writing speeding tickets at a pretty good clip, Jose Molina, but there's really nothing Molina could do. Close, but no. 1-2. At 96 from Sabathia.
Yeah, that wry smile on the face of CC Sabathia. He wanted that pitch. Thought the inning was over, but no, sir, says Kellogg.
Lowry trying to bring in Lowell. Only one hit allowed by Sabathia today. It was here to lead off the 5th inning. He got him. Derek Jeter coming in to hit. There is still no score at Yankee Stadium. Daisuke Matsuzaka and CC Sabathia matching up today on Fox. Time now to bring the heat, presented by Taco Bell. A little hotter heat from CC Sabathia. But we are even Steven, 0-0. And Derek Jeter trying to change that. The Yankees have had more opportunities to score. Had a tough time getting out of their own way today. And Jeter, who has been on base twice without hitting the ball out of the infield. He hit Matsuzaka, then Matsuzaka hit him. Jeter with a single off the calf of Daisuke Matsuzaka in the first. Then a hit in the back by a pitch in the third.
I think both teams are more interested in how they look than whether they win in the next 2 games, since both, for the most part, have solidified postseason play. The Red Sox, magic number 3, so is the Yankees. But if the Red Sox don't win one of the next 2 games, then they have to go back to Boston, and in the event that they do play the Yankees in the ALCS starting on October 16th, they've got to answer question after question after question.
Yeah.
The Yankees not only swept you the last weekend, they beat you 9 out of 10 after you won 8 in a row. So, you know, while it's very important for the Red Sox to perform admirably over the next 2 days, I think it's more important for the Red Sox to win a game over the next 2 days than it is for the Yankees to win a game over the next 2 days.
No, I think you're right. It mutes the potential talking point.
Yeah, yeah.
Inside the Jeter. Not that the writers won't have other ideas on what to be throwing out there, but
Writers and announcers.
and talk show callers and bloggers and tweeters.
Oh, yeah.
Tying up Jeter, sending it to third. Quick release. Safe is Jeter. Three times up, still hasn't gotten the ball out of the infield. He is on base 3 times. Fox Saturday Baseball presented by Budweiser. Reach for the perfect combination of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser, the great American lager.
Now Mike Lowell at third did all he could trying to barehand the ball. The throw to Kevin Youkilis to the home plate side. And Derek Jeter with his second infield hit of the afternoon. 205 hits on the year for Jeter. His high, 219 back in '99.
Got a shot to match that.
That year, by the way, was the year that Jeter led the American League in hits. And then the next season, who came into the American League? Ichiro.
Game, set, match.
Yeah. What a remarkable career he has had. Mike Lupica had a great line the other day saying that Ichiro might be the greatest player that nobody has ever seen. And really, you think about Seattle. I mean, Seattle's got a very good team. They've won 81 games this year. But Ichiro, I mean, how much coverage does he get? But, I mean...
well, maybe no one on the East Coast, but, I mean, there's...
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of people walking around in Tokyo that make it appointment television up there on the Jumbotrons. And
I said 2000. 2001 is when Ichiro came into the American League. But what a remarkable 9 consecutive years with over 2,000 hits now. And a guy that if he plays another couple of years, you absolutely have to consider him for the Hall of Fame.
Oh, no doubt. He had a first happen to him today. You know what happened today? He got ejected.
Oh.
First time ever.
Good going. I did not know that.
That one carves a corner. It's 2-2.
If Ichiro gets ejected, and this is nothing toward the umpires, but it gives you kind of an idea that you ought to side with Ichiro. I mean, without seeing the play, regardless of the circumstances. And that, again, has nothing to do with umpires because they do such a good job. But Ichiro is almost as much of a perfectionist playing the game as there's ever been in the game.
And he is a polite arguer usually.
Yes, he is. Yes.
If he even speaks up at all. 2-2 pitch is down to Damon.
He is certainly running. You just can't not allow that to affect you, however.
Jeter already with 30 steals this year. There he goes. And that's ball 4. All right, we're going to prove to you that Ichiro is not above the law. Time for a DirecTV game break. David Percy is on the mound. And Brian Runge is the umpire. Ichiro's English apparently is getting pretty good.
Either that or demonstrating by drawing the line with the bat.
Umpires don't enjoy that.
No.
So there it is. There's a first for Ichiro. He's been ejected. The Yankees again with a tremendous opportunity to score. They've got 2 on, nobody out. Teixeira and A-Rod coming up. Last inning, 2 on, nobody out, but then the bottom third of the order was up. Now it's the meat of the order. Teixeira, Rodriguez, Matsui. Backhanded by Martinez. That was very close to runners in second and third. Nobody out.
Matsusaka has not given up a run to the Yankees today, and yet he's thrown 2/3 of his pitches from the stretch. And that's
right.
Odd. Dangerous situation facing Teixeira, knowing he's going to get a fastball.
Keep in mind, Alex Rodriguez only 1 of 14 lifetime against Matsuzaka. If Teixeira walks here, yeah, it's a great scoring chance. Bases loaded, nobody out. But A-Rod has never really been able to hit Daisuke. He will have his opportunity here. Bases loaded and nobody out. Action will begin in the Boston bullpen as A-Rod steps in there. Back to the plate. Got it in time. Victor Martinez and Derek Jeter getting to home plate from opposite sides. Boy, as we started thinking about the first grand slam of the year for Alex Rodriguez, this is the polar opposite of a grand slam.
Oh, what a terrific play by Martinez. He has to catch the ball in the glove, and he has to make the tag of home plate with the ball in the glove. Wow. If he goes out with the bare hand, I don't think he comes back and gets the force out. But he had to take it with the glove and then diving back, tagging home plate with the glove. That was a terrific play by Martinez.
Tim, Victor Martinez growing up wanted to be Ozzie Guillen. He wanted to be a shortstop, and he just kind of had an opportunity to do that right there.
Yeah, that's right.
Now Hideki Matsui.
That's as close as a catcher can get to looking like a shortstop.
Dreams can come true, and here again is Victor Martinez in the middle of everything. Even if the hitting streak does not go from 24 to 25, he has earned his money today. Remember, it's the first time he's catching Daisuke Matsuzaka, too. And he's guiding him through some rocky chop here.
Have to wonder whether a catcher has ever had 3 putouts in an inning when none were strikeouts. He's had 2. Little tap in front of home, pick it up, touch home, and at least tie a record.
That's right. Nick Swisher will try to salvage the inning. It took 16 pitches to load the bases and then 2 pitches to get 2 outs, and now the chance for Nick Swisher to finally get the Yankees on the board. Usually a very patient hitter. Nick Swisher with a chance to cash in here. The Yankees today 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position. High pop fly. In foul ground, right at the tarp. Lowell's got it, and Daisuke Matsuzaka's a magician.
Unbelievable.
Last 21 at-bats against him with the bases loaded. Nobody's had a hit.
That's one of the most exciting innings you will ever see, where the ball was never hit out of the infield. Fair.
It is still scoreless in the Bronx. Right side of KFC. We go to the 6th inning, and it's somewhat incredible that the Yankees still have a 0 up there. They have had ample opportunity to have 3, 4, 5, or 6 in this game. Brian Anderson, the batter for Boston. The Red Sox being 1 hit by CC Sabathia. Mike Lowell's got the 1 hit. And Mike Lowell also made a tremendous catch in foul territory to keep the Yankees off the scoreboard just moments ago.
That was really a terrific play, battling the proximity to the tarp in left field in foul territory, making the basket catch. Just a terrific play by Lowell. Can you imagine if this game had more meaning?
I know. This would be a classic.
I know it's not a meaningless game, but
well, in the grand scheme, I mean, it is Yankees Red Sox, so it always means something to a lot of people. But as we've talked about, this is really a dress rehearsal for October. Outside. Take you back to the Mike Lowell play.
Oh, that is a dandy right there by Lowell. Toppling onto the tarp. And as we said again, one of the more interesting half innings. Yankees loading the bases with nobody out. The tap in front of the plate by A-Rod. Martinez on a nifty play. Then the pop up to Martinez. And then the foul ball that Lowell made such a terrific play on.
And now right back out of that, the number 9 batter walks, bringing up Jacoby Ellsbury.
I'm a little surprised that Ellsbury didn't try to bunt. Normally in situations like this, scoreless game in the late middle innings, like the 6th inning is, you try to drop one down.
Boy, these Yankee fans, too, it's kind of like settling in for a big fireworks show. You had A-Rod coming up with the bases loaded, then Matsui, and then Swisher. And the music's playing, and the lights go down. And then the fireworks don't work. Inside to Ellsbury.
There, Pedroia talking to Terry Francona, just in case Ellsbury gets on. Pedroia saying, you think a bunt in this situation would be the right thing? Otherwise, there's no reason to talk to him.
Safe lead over there at first. Remember, Molina very tough to run against. Time granted last second.
The one problem with that is you give the pitch away. Sabathia has thrown the breaking ball, and now if you're Ellsbury saying, well, I wonder if he'll come back with another breaking ball, because no pitch was called. So if you're a catcher, you know he's already seen the breaking ball, so you're more apt to go to another pitch. Probably a fastball away. No.
Right.
Back to the
right
breaking
back
ball.
there. And Ellsbury down on strikes.
Tightly wrapped, out of the strike zone. Good pitch to Ellsbury.
That is 8 strikeouts now for Sabathia. That's what he had against him last month, too. He went 8 innings, walked no one, struck out 8. That was at Fenway. And the toughest guy statistically to strike out in the American League has already been a strikeout victim today. It is Pedroia. Pedroia had a 16-game hitting streak stop last night. Not likely to get another one started against Sabathia. 1 for 14 lifetime against him.
It's remarkable. Pedroia has had 100 doubles in the last 2 years. Wow. To give you an idea of how many that is, Rocco Baldelli has played almost 6 years in the major leagues and is two doubles shy of 100.
More doubles than strikeouts last year, which is these days really rare.
Boy, that is unbelievable.
2 guys did that last year. It was Pedroia and Mike Sweeney. That's it. Victor Martinez with the 24-game hitting streak on deck. And a very unlikely game to be scoreless, but it is, just because of all the opportunities the Yankees have had. Well, the Red Sox have been playing some great baseball. We talked about that earlier. They've won 12 out of 16. One of the losses was yesterday in a game that had 14 runs. On the ground towards short. Derek Jeter's done that before. Turning the double play and keeping this game scoreless on Fox this afternoon. No score, bottom 6 in today's Flomax replay, taking it back to the David Ortiz at bat in the 5th. This was called a foul tip somehow. It was not. No, says David Ortiz, that was not. Jeff Kellogg said it was. And we play on. Robinson Cano against Daisuke Matsuzaka. Bottom third of the Yankee order. Cano, Cabrera, and Molina. A one-hitter for CC Sabathia so far today. He actually retired the first 11 that he faced this afternoon. Walked his former battery mate, Victor Martinez. Gave up a leadoff hit to Mike Lowell in the 5th. That's it. And that walk to Brian Anderson last inning, and he got the double play from Pedroia.
Two pitchers who have thrown shutouts through 5.5, and they have done it in entirely different ways.
Matsuzaka, the last couple of years, has been the kind of the David Blaine of this pitching staff. He just kind of figures out a way to get through it. Now the magic act will disappear. The baseball 2. 1-0 New York. Number 24 for Cano. And Tim, maybe that was a secret. Don't get any base runners and you'll finally score.
That's right. The Yankees have stranded 9, so they figured, well, our best way to score is not to get anybody on. And they do.
Boy, bounced on top of that sign and went out.
That took some planning, that handshake or back slap or whatever it was.
You and Bob Gibson didn't have that?
No. A lot of handshakes, though.
That one I do believe was practiced somewhat, the one we just saw.
Yes.
Well, Robinson Cano opposite field and barely out. Here's how Tim McCarver used to do it back in the day.
I'd have to see a chiropractor if I did that today.
Be pretty cool if that was spontaneous, though. Big swing and a foul ball back. On the ground to first base. Now we'll talk a little football tomorrow. Fox NFL Sunday. Matt Ryan, the Boston College product, going back to New England, taking the undefeated Falcons to take on the Patriots. Got the Giants and the Buccaneers. The Niners and the Vikings will square off. Those are the two remaining. Well, there's one game tomorrow with 2-0 teams. It's the Niners and the Vikings. Plenty of action on Fox tomorrow. Pre-game show at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Check local listings for the game and start time in your area. Here's Jose Molina. There's a towering pop-up. That's pretty incredible. Only one game tomorrow on the entire NFL slate, with a couple of 2-0 teams having at it. In the meantime, you got Matt Ryan and Tom Brady as the Patriots try to avoid slipping to 1-2.
Some of the talk here in New York City is centered around the 2-0 start of the New York Jets. Rex Ryan.
A lot of positive talk about the Jets.
Yes, sir.
Saito ready in the bullpen for Boston. Got a matchup of the running backs tomorrow in that Minnesota-San Francisco game. Peterson and Gore. Anyway, check it out on Fox tomorrow. Here is Derek Jeter.
Great time of year when the baseball playoffs and football converge, huh?
Like a big sports eclipse.
Yep.
October is when Derek Jeter, of course, has always been at his level best. The Yankees missed out on October last year.
October for Jeter, and that 1 year in November. You remember the signs in the old ballpark, Mr. November. That was 2001, when because of 9/11, baseball delayed the World Series for a week, and Derek Jeter became Mr. November indeed. But Mr. November saw the Arizona Diamondbacks winning the World Championship about 4 days later. Randy Johnson and Curt Schilling having incredible postseasons.
Inside to Jeter. Remember, he got hit earlier. He is now on base for a 4th time in 6 innings. Still doesn't have a ball hit out of the infield.
Yeah, well, the last ball that hit Derek Jeter was on a breaking ball. That was a fastball inside. Of course, Derek stands on top of the plate, and American League pitchers realize they have to pitch him inside normally to get him out.
Alex Rodriguez too, right?
Yeah,
I mean, those two guys get pitched inside a ton.
Yeah. It's like Chase Utley of the Phillies, who's been hit 23 times this year. Stands on top of the plate. You've got to expect that.
Johnny Damon and his happy feet take a strike.
I was thinking the same thing. That was a great shot. It's almost like Johnny is auditioning for Dancing with the Stars before swinging. Talk about feet always moving. Talked earlier about how unusual this batting style is. I mean, you would not teach that to any young player, and Johnny knows that, and he laughs about it. He's just been enormously successful at the major league level.
If Warren Sapp can get on Dancing with the Stars, why can't Johnny Damon?
That's right.
Johnny Damon played high school football against Warren Sapp.
That's right, in Florida, near Orlando.
Sapp once knocked him goofy in a midfield collision, too.
Him telling us that.
1-0 thanks to Robinson Cano. We're back after a word from your local Fox station. Saturday baseball on Fox presented by Budweiser. Budweiser, the great American lager. A one-hitter for CC Sabathia and the Robinson Cano home run as the Yankees on top. Fox Saturday baseball again next weekend. Games with playoff implications. Check your local listings. Well, the Yankees are in great shape. They have legitimate MVP candidates in Jeter and Teixeira, maybe even A-Rod. Cy Young candidate in Sabathia, and the best overall record in Major League Baseball. Sabathia's got to deal with Victor Martinez, he of the 24-game hitting streak. We were just talking football last inning, and obviously you look at CC Sabathia, the answer is yes. He played it. He played it well enough to get recruited by UCLA as a tight end. The baseball thing's working out pretty well.
I think CC made the right choice.
His cousin Demetrius Davis played in the NFL as a tight end, pretty good one.
I think he still has season tickets to the Oakland Raiders, right?
Part of Raider Nation, this is true.
From Vallejo, California. One of the great guys in the game, too.
He has matured incredibly in a short amount of time. Pass the mound. Gobbled up by Cano. CC Sabathia's first major league start, Tim, featured 28 consecutive fastballs. Now he is very cool with changing speeds, having a plan out there. He's already banked one Cy Young. And again, he's in the conversation for another one this year.
Not only all fastballs, but all fastballs in the same spot. In on the hands to right-handed batters. He had a slot that he really couldn't get away from as a young pitcher. But now he's going away, as he'll do right here. And then he'll cut the ball inside. We talked about changing the grip since the All-Star game. He has not lost a game since before July 14th. But like Cole Porter used to say, experiment.
Inside, and there's Euclid getting hit.
I mean, the crowd is yelling because Jeter was hit, not the first time necessarily, but the second time, and I don't think any of the pitches inside have been intentional this afternoon. Could be wrong.
No, but also anytime it's Euclid that I think provokes a response too.
That's right. That's right. The problem with that is it's on the bare hand. You know, it's not on that padding he was wearing on his left elbow. Those hands are your business partners. All hitters feel that way. Kevin appears to be all right.
And here's Mike Lowell, who's got the only hit against Sabathia today. Gotta love that CC Sabathia delivery. I mean, this is a guy who's 6'7", 290. Just hangs that huge right leg in the air. Seems to defy gravity that he can do that. Balanced and graceful, and 290 pounds. Now he's got to go scramble. He'll fire, and he got Mike Lowell.
Now you have to worry about throws like that because they're off balance. You talked about his grace. But often a pitcher off balance like that, slipping around again, the one thing that both teams do not want, any chance of an injury. And I'll tell you, the last two games, there have been many opportunities for players from both sides to be injured.
And Sabathia wasn't happy that he didn't field that cleanly. That looked like a double play off the bat.
I'll tell you, talking about injuries, there's no chance for anybody to be injured at the golf tournament that David Ortiz has. This is his second annual golf tournament. Alex Rodriguez, Mariano Rivera. It's held down in the Dominican Republic. And the participation helps raise funds and awareness for the David Ortiz Children's Fund. And we talked about Sabathia, one of the great guys, and obviously Big Papi out of that same cloth.
Tom Verducci wrote a great piece on him a while ago, talking about how Ortiz never walks alone, that everybody, teammates, opponents, fans, are drawn to the sunlight of his personality, is how he put it.
That's nice and appropriate.
Bouncing ball first base, and CC Sabathia gets the Yankees to the stretch with a one-hit shutout. A Robinson Cano home run has the Yankees on top at the stretch. Time for our Bank of America fan cam. Want to show the world it's not like it's love? Get MLB banking only from Bank of America. Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor, Yankee fan, grew up very close to this ballpark. And she had the honorary first pitch today. That's a heck of a look right there, too. And a 1-0 game to the bottom of the 7th, and Mark Teixeira about to lead things off for the Yankees. A reminder that weekdays you can make lunchtime your new prime time. FoxSports.com brings you lunch with benefits. Log on and check out new episodes of original sports shows delivered to your desktop every Monday through Friday at 1 Eastern. This Monday, you've got the After Party with Jay Glazer, presented by Sprint. Jay will chat up all of the NFL's biggest performers. It's only at FoxSports.com on MSN. CC Sabathia, 7 innings in the books. 1 hit allowed. He threw 96 pitches. And Daisuke Matsuzaka. Meantime, as Philip Hughes starts getting ready out there. Matsuzaka's hit 104 pitches. And Billy Wagner has started to get loose behind Matsuzaka. Strike one to Mark Teixeira. This is Billy Wagner's induction into the Yankee-Red Sox rivalry. A chance to get out there and pitch.
All he's had a chance to do prior to this is read about it. Now he's involved in it.
And give Daisuke Matsuzaka some credit. I think a lot of Red Sox fans were wondering exactly what was going to be happening with him off the DL not too long ago. Good stuff. You saw John Farrell, the pitching coach, and Ken Rosenthal has a little something on Mr. Farrell.
Yes, Josh. Many expect Eric Wedge to be fired as the manager of the Indians at the end of the season, and many thought that John Farrell would be a leading candidate to replace Wedge. It's not going to happen. Farrell did pitch for the Indians. He was their farm director, but he has a clause in his contract that states he cannot accept an outside managerial position until after the 2010 season. That's after next season. So a year from now, he's going to be the Red Sox pitching coach, not the Indians manager.
So it sounds like a matter of timing, because otherwise that would be a pretty good candidate, you would think.
If Bill Veeck were the owner of the Cleveland Indians, perhaps he'd figure out a way to make a trade for a pitching coach, or if he wanted John Farrell. What was the trade? Jimmy Dykes for Joe Gordon?
Yeah.
Right, Ken?
I don't see that happening, Tim. It's a great thought, but the Red Sox put that clause in the contract for a reason.
Sure.
Teams have repeatedly asked permission to interview Farrell over the last several years.
I like the inventive trades, though. You're right. The Tigers and Indians back in 1960 sent managers the other direction. Remember, Lou Piniella had to get traded essentially for Randy Winn.
Yeah, right.
For negotiating rights with Lou.
With Tampa Bay.
3-1 the count to Alex Rodriguez. The Yankees trying to pull away here in the 7th, leading only 1-0.
I believe in 1976, when Chuck Tanner went to the Pittsburgh Pirates, Charlie Finley asked for compensation for Chuck Tanner, and I can't think of the player that went there, but I believe it was a player. Manny Sanguillen, perhaps?
Why not ask, right? I mean,
yeah.
Alex Rodriguez is out. The best trade ever probably was Dickie Knowles, traded to the Tigers from the Cubs for a player to be named, and then 1 month later that player to be named was Dickie Knowles. Traded for himself. Well, again, if you're a Red Sox fan, you can't ask for much more than this out of Daisuke Matsuzaka. He was in some tough innings today, and he pitched out of all of those. The only run came in on a leadoff home run in the 6th inning.
Wasn't it Rocky Bridges who said about Jose Uribe, who changed his name from Jose Uribe to Jose Gonzalez, that he was legitimately the player to be named later?
It sounds like that's right. Well, he was.
And it was Manny Sanguillen and $100,000 to Charlie O'Finley.
Daisuke Matsuzaka and CC Sabathia have been nails today. A 1-0 game at the end of 7. Phil Hughes has been an 8th inning revelation for the New York Yankees this year. He's going to get a chance to come on here in the 8th, trying to protect what CC Sabathia has worked so hard to build. 7 innings of 1-hit shutout baseball today for Sabathia. J.D. Drew will pinch hit, and he is 2 for 2 lifetime against Hughes. That's a move that makes sense as the Red Sox try to get something kick-started late. They're down to 6 outs to go.
Phil Hughes has just been remarkable. He's pitched 30 innings since the All-Star break and has a 1.48 earned run average.
So with Hughes and Dave Robertson, got some pretty live arms. Robertson hoping to come back soon. We'll bring in Ken Rosenthal on that.
Josh, he threw a bullpen session today. It went well. The Yankees are going to give him 2 days off.
Mark Teixeira dives on the chalk. Got it. Get back to Ken Rosenthal in just a moment. Gold glove caliber work from Teixeira.
How many MVPs are Gold Glovers too? Well, he could be both. I think Kevin Youkilis is a terrific first baseman, but Kevin is penalized because he's had to play third so much. I'll tell you, for a right-handed thrower, there aren't too many first basemen any better than Mark Teixeira in the last 50 years. He is just unbelievable defensively.
Another pinch hitter now. It'll be Casey Kochman coming up. And Ken, I'm sorry, back to you about Dave Robertson.
Josh, the average fan might not know much about Robertson, but he has the highest strikeout rate of any reliever in the American League. 13.39 strikeouts per 9 inning. Phil Hughes actually ranks 7th in that category. And this, of course, is what you need in the postseason. Power pitching, both starting and relief.
We were talking to Joe Girardi before the game, and he admitted that when you watch Dave Robertson, it doesn't look like, if you watch him on TV, anything that special. But something about picking up that baseball, the hitters have a very tough time. A couple of good weapons for the Yankees here. Robertson and this guy, Phil Hughes.
It's an interesting point. When Randy Johnson was in his prime, Sergio Mitre throwing between starts, and Ramirez warming up. Edouard Ramirez. When Randy Johnson was in his prime, Roger Clemens in his prime, CC Sabathia today, you can understand why these guys are successful. But with a guy like David Robertson, I think Ken's point was that the ball's on top of hitters, and only hitters know exactly how tough a pitcher like that is. And to a degree, Phil Hughes is like that too.
In there, striking out Kochman.
See, the ball's on top of you before you really have a chance to react to it. A good slider on the inside corner.
Time for the Just for Men hair color holds leaders. The guys that were building bridges for the Yankees when they were winning a lot were guys like Mike Stanton and Jeff Nelson. Just as these pitchers keep their team in the game, you too can stay in the game with Just for Men hair color. We got another pinch hitter coming up now, by the way. Josh Reddick. Get another lefty bat. Since this is a lefty bat that Hughes has not faced before, quick little chat about how to go after Reddick. Make sure everybody's on the right page with the scouting report. By the way, Pepsi, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball, congratulating CC Sabathia, today's Major League Baseball Clutch Performer of the Game, presented by Pepsi. Learn more about the MLB Clutch Performer of the Month award at PepsiClutch.com. Out of Middle Georgia College, Josh Reddick. And with the rosters having expanded here in September, this is the kind of inning you can have if you are Terry Francona and that other dugout, just one pinch hitter after another. The Robinson-Cano home run that danced on top of the wall and went out. The only run of the game so far. Last time the Yankees one-hit the Red Sox here in New York was in 1992. The long since forgotten Sam Militello. Two and two the count. Might see a little Billy Wagner when the Yankees bat in the bottom of the 8th. And it's coming up. In a 1-0 game, the Yankees on top. Fox Saturday Baseball presented by Budweiser, sponsored by Holiday Inn, official partner of Major League Baseball road trips. By Burger King, who reminds you to have it your way. And by EAS, don't waste your workout, finish it with EAS Myoplex. Changes abound here for the Boston Red Sox. Woodward into the game at short. Josh Reddick stays in the game in left. J.D. Drew is now in right. And Billy Wagner is down with the whole pitching in New York thing. He was doing that as a New York Met. But now against the Yankees in a 1-0 game. There's never been a 1-0 game in this stadium, which of course has only been open for not even 80 games. Got a chance for the first one right here. Swisher, Cano, and Cabrera to bat for New York in the bottom of the 8th. Punch to left. Down the line. It is foul.
A little quick on the trigger was Nick Swisher. A lot of right-handed hitters do that because they realize they have to be out in front of that Billy Wagner fastball, who even after Tommy John surgery is still revving it up there about 96 miles an hour. Mariano Rivera will be the pitcher in the 9th inning. That's pretty easy unless the Yankees can score 3 or 4 runs here.
Then you might see some Brian Bruni. The Red Sox got the one hit from Mike Lowell to lead off the 5th. The one run is off the bat of that guy. The ball that did not get out by much, just kind of served at the opposite field. Strike called, 3-2. Swisher is on. The game-changing play brought to you by Holiday Inn. Signs of change are everywhere. And again, Robinson Cano, 24th home run of the year to match that number on his back. Off the wall and out. Brett Gardner, by the way, going to pinch run now for Swisher. You playing for just the one run here? Are you asking for a stolen base or a bunt?
No. No way do you bunt with Cano here. Too good a hitter. You don't want to waste the out. Too much speed at first. I mean, one of the two. If Cano, you allow Cano to hit, and then if Cano makes an out, Gardner doesn't move up, then you can run Gardner.
Cano does not have a sacrifice bunt this year.
No.
He is third in the league in total bases.
As a 7-hole hitter. I think Brett Gardner is going to be, and the Red Sox fans know who you're talking about when you mention the name Dave Roberts. I think Brett Gardner will be the Dave Roberts for the Yankees in the postseason. Not, of course, in the results of Dave Roberts, but he'll be used in that role.
Running late and
late inning runner. Yeah, right.
Dave Roberts has said since that stolen base, there has not been one day, not one in his life, wherever he's been, that somebody hasn't said, thank you for stealing that base.
Everybody in the world knew he was running as a pinch runner for Kevin Millar. After Mariano Rivera walked him, and the Yankees were leading by 1 and up in the ALCS 3-0. And then the roof fell in on the Yankees. And the roof was raised in New England.
And finally a banner too.
Yeah.
Things have changed a bit though. I mean, that so-called team of idiots, and Kevin Millar was the emblem of all of that. There's a bit more of a professional bent around the Red Sox these days. Not that that's good or bad. There goes Gardner to second base. And that dash of speed.
Excellent base running, a good read.
You talk about a watershed moment, the Dave Roberts stolen base.
'25 playoff wins for the Red Sox since that fateful night at Fenway. Fateful as far as the Yankees were concerned. The Yankees have won 4 games. The Red Sox not only 25 wins, but 2 world championships in which they have not lost a game.
Nope.
2 sweeps.
Cano down on strikes. Yeah, Red Sox fans recently now obviously can point to that and say, hey, this decade we got you 2-0 championship wise.
That's right.
That kind of ushers aside the 26th World Series that the Yankees have already banked. But
yeah, every organization pales in comparison to the 26. The St. Louis Cardinals, as an example, lead the National League with only 10 World Series champions. I say only because you have to compare it to the Yankees, and anything compared to the Yankee dominance over the last 90 years is not good.
But Joe Girardi chose that uniform number 27 to wear with a purpose. He figures he wants to be in charge of getting the Yankees that 27th World Championship. Gardner goes on his way to third. Head first, he's safe. And as much as Terry Francona keeps saying, I'm not worried about that opposing team's running game, whoever the opposing team may be, that's a big steal of third right there.
That's the 19th time this year that third base has been stolen against the Red Sox. And now they're forced to bring the infield in.
A chance for Melky Cabrera to add to the Yankee lead. Remember, Woodward now at short, just into the game.
Yeah, I think Brett Gardner has run himself onto the postseason roster for the Yankees. Late inning defense, speed late.
with the infield in. Inside it hit him.
Boy, that one hurt.
3 hit batsmen today.
Trying to come inside, and Wagner comes too far inside on a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Let's take a listen. I mean, if you do take Melky out of the game, you can leave Gardner in the game to play center field. Melky appears to be all right.
Tonight on Fox, don't miss a full hour of Cops. Then join John Walsh for an hour of America's Most Wanted. It starts tonight at 8, 7 Central. Viewer discretion is advised. Jose Molina, Tim, went down to the third base coaching box. Anything wacky afoot here? Runners at the corners, 1 out.
I mean, perhaps.
Yeah, Jeter on deck. Molina obviously doesn't run real well as a double play candidate.
And Wagner, the type of pitcher, is going to throw fly balls and not ground balls.
Sure enough, he's squaring around, but he couldn't get it down.
That was a safety squeeze right there. And on a safety squeeze, the runner from third doesn't break. And the batter at home doesn't have to get the ball down. You try to, and if he gets the ball down, then the runner comes home. So the squeeze was on. It's just a different variety of a squeeze. The suicide squeeze, the runner takes off immediately.
Down to second base, and now hung up is Gardner. Scrambling back, he is tagged. Or is he? Without the ball. Second and third now.
That is Chris Woodward, the shortstop, who just entered the game. It's amazing when you're going for late inning defense how that ball can find you. And it found Woodward and he dropped it. I think that should be an error on Chris Woodward.
Made that swipe tag too soon.
Made the tag without the ball. So far, no error posted. The runner at first base, Melky Cabrera, took off on the play. But of course, Gardner at third base went too far. They had him in a rundown. And the throw back to Woodward, who made the tag without the ball. This game, for a 1-0 game, has had a lot of screwy innings in it.
Boy, no kidding. The Yankees in the fifth had the bases loaded. A-Rod up, and that great play by Victor Martinez. Infield in. And again, Victor Martinez, I tell you, he is earning every penny back there in this game. That play we just referenced with Alex Rodriguez, where he went out, fielded one that was, what, 12, 13 feet from home plate, had to dive back to the plate to get the force on the incoming Derek Jeter. Checked his swing.
It may look like Billy Wagner's doing it, and that's pitching around Molina, but with Derek Jeter on deck, there is no way that Wagner is intentionally pitching around Molina. Now, it may end up that he does, but he's not doing it on purpose.
Cranked foul. And you hinted at it earlier. Even if Molina reaches, yeah, it sets up the double play. But Wagner's not a guy that gets a lot of ground ball outs. Check swing. Ball 4.
I think Terry Francona just told Kevin Youkilis at first base on a ground ball to you, come home and don't go to second. Jeter's got too much speed.
Strike 1. Billy Wagner ahead 0-2. Another great scoop by Victor Martinez.
Yeah, Victor Martinez has had an extraordinary game defensively. Keep in mind that Victor Martinez has had almost no experience catching Billy Wagner, who is very difficult to catch.
Jeter extends, flares it foul. Daniel Bard is in the bullpen for Boston. Boy, he walked Molina and he struck out Jeter.
Take a look at the pitch by pitch to Jeter. The fastball for a strike, another fastball for a strike. The slider almost hits him, punches the fastball foul, and with the count 2-2 goes after the high fastball. And Billy Wagner can do that to you. He can walk the bases loaded and then strike out the side.
Johnny Damon's last grand slam in the regular season, 2006. The Yankees do not have a hit today with runners in scoring position at all. 0 for 13. Three of those strikes, though, were pumped in there to Derek Jeter.
Talk about modern medicine. How in the world does a man have Tommy John surgery and then less than a year later throw like Wagner does? Derek Jeter can tell you.
'94, he fired it right by Damon. Well, the Yankees have had enough opportunities to lead this thing 6, 7, or 8 to nothing. It is 1 to nothing. 8th inning, bases loaded. Little flare, base hit. 2 runs in.
Baseball, one of those quirky games where a hitter can send it out much slower than it came in and be successful. A broken bat hit to plate 2.
After that error covering third base, remember. Welcome to the Red Sox-Yankees rivalry, Billy Wagner. It's 3-0. Daniel Bard takes over. It's runners at the corners. 3-0 in New York now. Mark Teixeira ripping a foul back. Daniel Bard brings the first one in at 99 miles an hour.
I mean, Billy Wagner throwing 96, and Daniel Bard comes in and throws harder.
Yeah. But a ball that couldn't have been going more than, what, 40 miles an hour off the bat of Johnny Damon.
Right.
Makes it 3-0 Yankees.
About 130 feet to right field.
No, he couldn't have run out there and just placed it on the grass any better.
Nope.
And after all the missed opportunities all game long, Johnny Damon against the Red Sox to make it 3-0. Again, that rundown play is huge. Chris Woodward just into the game trying to slap that tag down on Gardner. So now the decision to make. Yeah, it's a save situation. I guess you go with Rivera, but if it becomes more than 3-0, do you go Bruni?
Probably.
Tapper to second base. It's a one-hit shutout for CC Sabathia and the bullpen. They will try to stick the landing when we come back. Brett Gardner got out of a rundown, and that was big. He stays in the game in center field. Cabrera now is in right. And the man on the mound is the man of the hour. That is Mr. Rivera, who is again having a tremendous year as he gets towards 40 years old. Things are going very well. 42 saves this year in 44 chances for Mariano Rivera. Jacoby Ellsbury, the top of the order. One lonely hit for the Red Sox today. That was by Mike Lowell in the 5th. CC Sabathia just sparkled today into tonight, looking for his league-leading 19th win. Phil Hughes, the bridge to get to Rivera, pitched a 1-2-3 8th inning. Had some help from Mark Teixeira with a dive at first. We showed you the shot earlier of the musician Paul Simon standing and clapping. And Mariano Rivera, Tim, is still nasty after all these years.
Boy, are you ever right.
Back to the mound, absorbed by Rivera. The last one-hitter in this series was memorable. Mike Mussina was actually perfect and a strike away from finishing the job. And then Carl Everett off the bench, dumping that single into the outfield at Fenway, ruined the perfect game. The Yankees won it 1-0. That ball pegged foul by Pedroia.
Mike Messina, meanwhile, retired after winning 20 games for the first time in his terrific career. That was after last year's 20 victory season.
Something that Sabathia has a shot to match this season. That's the nasty of which we speak right there, right on the corner, an unhittable pitch, 0-2.
Well, we've talked about the marvel of Mariano Rivera, and he's the best relief pitcher in the history of the game. And he's also one of the great strike throwers in the history of the game.
That one to strike out a guy who seldom strikes out, Dustin Pedroia.
You rarely see Rivera waste pitches, and here on an 0-2 count, strikes out Pedroia.
Victor Martinez, last chance to get that hitting streak from 24 to 25.
As they might say in Australia, he's a bloody marvel.
Martinez has that 25-game hitting streak. First native of Venezuela to have a 25-game hitting streak. Congratulations to him. And keeps it alive for the Boston Red Sox. Been a heck of a game defensively for Martinez, too. And remember, the first time catching Matsuzaka, that went pretty well. You get the sense Yankee fans would derive more satisfaction anyway if this guy was the final out. However, if Kevin Youkilis reaches, Mike Lowell comes up as a tying man. Victor Martinez running the last couple times. Down to second is Victor Martinez on defensive indifference. Getting away from Molina. Just a second wild pitch all year from Rivera.
And Mariano rarely throws balls in the dirt.
Another one peeled away foul. Red Sox finally have a runner at third base. But now instead of it being 1-0, it's 3-0. Kevin Youkilis is on. The 4th hit batsman of the game.
And the 2nd time in a row Youkilis has been hit. And here comes Mike Lowell with 17 home runs on the year and hitting, representing the potential tying run in a ballpark that's yielded more home runs than any in baseball this year.
First hit batsman all season from Rivera, and it followed only his 2nd wild pitch all season. Strike taken. Youkilis down to second base. Lowell's actually got pretty good numbers against Rivera, 4 for 11. He is behind the future Hall of Famer 0-2. Got him. The Yankees' magic number is 1. It got interesting late, but the Yankees have won it. We're back for more post-game coverage after these messages.